夠鐘亦都夠法定人數啦。咁我哋而家呢就召開2015至16年度立法會。
We have got a quorum and I'll call the meeting to order. This is the first meeting of the panel on environmental affairs. Agenda item number 1, election of chairman and deputy chairman. According to Note 76, Bracket 6, if a member is a chairman or deputy chairman or government advisory body in respect of matters of which a panel considered to be directly related to the terms of reference of the panel, shall not be the chairman or deputy chairman of the panel. And to facilitate members' consideration in this regard, please refer to the terms of reference. And also I would like to invite nominations. And please also note Rule 77, Bracket 7, that a member should not be chairman or deputy chairman more than one panel at the same time. In nomination, I nominate Mr. Chan Hak Kan. I accept the nomination. Do we have a seconder? Mr. Wong Ting Kwong seconds the nomination. Do we have a second nomination? Mr. Wu Chi Wai, I nominate Ms. Sip Ho. Do you accept the nomination, Ms. Ho? Do you accept the nomination? I don't. Any other nomination? Charles Moore? I want to second that nomination, but Ms. Ho refuses to accept it. Okay, I want to make a nomination. Dr. Kenneth Chan, do you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. As both I myself and Dr. Kenneth Chan have been nominated as candidates for chairman. So the member of the highest order of president is Mr. Tam Yu Chung. So he will be invited to come on stage to conduct the election. All right. If we don't have any other nominations, I invite the staff to distribute the ballot papers.
好，1號嘅就係陳克勤。
Candidate number 1 is Mr. Chan Hak Kan. Candidate number 2 is Dr. Kenneth Chan. Both are named Chan.
咁啊，而家咧工作人員係派緊選票。
The staff are distributing the ballot papers. After members have marked their ballot papers, I will declare that the voting comes to a close, and no more of the ballot papers will be distributed at that point. And then the staff will collect the ballot papers. Please deposit your ballot paper into the box yourself. We have distributed altogether 17 ballot papers. Have you all done? This is a secret ballot, so please don't show your ballot paper to anyone. Please fold the ballot paper. Are you all finished? Now we will collect the ballot papers.
好啦，我哋請兩位嘉
Let's have two checkers. Mr. Chen Hanban, Mr. Wu Chiwai, please come out.
書會再點一點嗰個
The secretary will count the ballot papers to see if it tallies with the number distributed.
都係17嘅。
係收翻17
So 17 ballot papers have been collected, so that's good. Let's count the votes. 1 1. Number 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 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 1. Number 2. I hereby announce that Mr. Chen Hakan, number 1, has got 12 votes, and number 2, Dr. Kenneth Chang, has got 5 votes. So Mr. Chen Hakan is the elected chairman. Please come on to the stage. The ballot papers will be destroyed at the supervision of the secretariat staff.
唔該晒譚耀宗議員。
Thank you, Mr. Tam Yu-chung, and I thank members for their support. We'll now elect a deputy chairman. Again, in accordance with rule number 4, let's have a nominations of deputy chairman. Dr. Kenneth Chang, do you accept it? Yes. Any seconder? Mr. Wu Chi-wai seconds the nomination. To have a second nomination. Any other nominations? If not, as there's only one candidate, and Dr. Kenneth Chan is elected deputy chairman of the panel. Congratulations, Dr. Chan. Item number 2 on the agenda, the schedule of meetings, which has been tabled. Usually we will have a meeting on the 4th Monday of the month in the afternoon, and for the 28th of December and the 28th of March, the original dates will have to be rescheduled. Any objection to that? Okay, so we would adopt the timetable. Item number 3, the items for discussion for future meetings. Please refer to the list of outstanding items for discussion, and the government has proposed that 2 weeks from today is a Monday at 2:30. 2 items should be put up for discussion. First, progress report on mandatory retirement of pre-Euro 4 diesel commercial vehicles, and secondly, progress on the community green stations. Any objection? No. So we have the two items. We're also going to talk to the government on items and timetable of future discussion items. So I would be having a discussion with the Secretary for the Environment together with our Deputy Chairman. Do you have any suggestion, members? Ms. Elizabeth Quart. I am concerned about the recent confiscation of ivory by the C&E department, and there are international NGOs alleging Hong Kong to be one of the biggest black markets of ivory. I would like to suggest an item on ivory and how we can protect African elephants. All right, we jot down this suggestion. Ms. Quart. Actually, there was a discussion previously. It was put under the conservation policy, the item on conservation policy. At the last meeting of the last session, some members asked the government to come back to talk with us about nature conservation policy in the first meeting. But I recently talked to the Secretary for the Environment, and they said they were not yet ready for. They need to prepare the papers and other issues. So we would come back to this item in due course. I understand that this is going to be an item on this, but I don't think one session will be sufficient. We need to do more to protect African elements. And I also would like to suggest that we include another item, separate item on ivory as well on the list. I want to suggest that we discuss the AQO. There will be a lot of preparation required. I would like the government to tell us what kind of a review will be conducted on the AQO. Would the NGOs and the green groups be involved in the review? I hope this will be a process in which the community will be able to participate, and they should come tell us more about the strategy and their work plan. Understand that the more measures you adopt, the less the marginal effect, because the more effective measures have all been implemented already. Well, you have mentioned this many times, Ms. Ho. The timetable is that there will be a discussion at the end of this year, but we'll be relaying your concern to the Secretary when we see him. Mr. Stephen Ho. Well, we'll be talking about the felling of eagle wood. So maybe at some appropriate occasion we should ask the government to come back to make a report. Deputy Chairman and then Mr. Chan Ham Pan. I know members are concerned about ivory.
藉口咧就係好多嘢我哋未準備啦，太大啦咁。
And also the illegal trade of fish bladder. And we see the Secretary and the Deputy Undersecretary, well, we'll be bringing up this issue because at the end of this year there may be NGOs from outside Hong Kong coming to Hong Kong to bring up the issue on ivory trade. So Hong Kong should not shirk its responsibility. So we should do more. And of course, there are quite a number of subjects under nature conservation policy, but we should deal with ivory first. Last year we made some suggestions, but nothing has happened for a year.
And Chairman, the Civic Party is very concerned about the EIA. The path model in the EIA ordinance has been stalled for 2 years. The government has asked experts and academics to study the stimulated path model. Will a review be needed? Perhaps LegCo should also invite its own experts and academics to help to review the path model so that our EIAs can be done more meticulously and with more credibility. All right, these been jotted down, please. Mr. Hampang, I'm concerned about the fly tipping of construction waste. In country parks, we see fly tipping of C&D waste, construction and demolition waste. And I think there is a lot of room for the EPD to improve on the handling of this matter. Thank you. Is also included in our list of outstanding items. Any items more? Mr. Albert Chen. Chairman, I'm on reclamation works of the airport, the leakage of sewage and its impact on the Chinese white dolphins. We can take up together with the item on Hong Kong Joy Macau Bridge, because some members of the public reflected to us that white Chinese dolphins had more or less disappeared in those waters. So will it ask the administration whether there's been any unauthorized works or breach of the conditions of work? We should ask the administration to respond. All right. It's also on our outstanding list. Yes, but we must fix a date for that discussion. Otherwise, all the white dolphins, Chinese white dolphins, might become extinct. Second round, Ms. Elizabeth Quat. I'm concerned about those skips. Now, for our refuse collection vehicles, they are entirely enclosed. But for those skips, they may there might be escaped a large piece of junk, causing risks on the roads. Skips, they're not covered, and transporting refuse to the landfills. I think it may be more appropriate if we cover the refuse collection vehicles as well. Well, those skips also carry waste, but they are called skips instead of RCVs. But they are for transportation of waste. All right, let's put it on the list and discuss with the relevant departments. If it is within our terms of reference, we can include it on our outstanding item list. Mr. Chen Hanpan, environmental friendly skips. I think, or what environmental friendly skips? I think the Audit Commission and the Environment Bureau have considered this. But FEHD, Lands Department, and even Transport Department is involved. If you want to discuss this item, we'll have to add a note to see whether a joint panel meeting is needed. Still, your request will be recorded. While they're called environmental friendly skips, the EC is not just for the EPD. Any other suggestions? If not, we'll call it a day, and all your concerns will be relayed to the Secretary for reporting to you at the next meeting. Item 4, AOB. We don't have any AOB, so meeting is closed. Thank you.